Welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking MPC3 beta software update. As you probably are aware, the beta has been out for a few weeks at this point, and I think this is the first update officially. It is going to be available via Wi-Fi, so you should be able to go to preferences and then update it through the update Wi-Fi online module type of interface. So that's nice. So this isn't a massive update by any means, but it does bring a cool feature called new slice to audio. And I'm going to show you that here in a second. But just to round out some of the details here, there's an MPC3 quick start user guide that you'll be able to download. So if you're curious about that, I'll leave a link below. Track mutes now officially operate a little bit different, but not in the way that you want them to, or at least me, I want them to. Now it will remember track mute state per sequence. So that's nice because you could technically mute, say audio 1 here, and then go into the next sequence. Sequence 2 unused, and you can see audio 1 is now unmuted. When the beta first launched, the mutes were across the board regardless of the sequence, which was pretty unusable from my point of view if you wanted to live perform an arrangement. Something that's still not available yet though in the beta is being able to switch the mutes to event muting as opposed to audio muting. Because as it is right now, these basically act as audio mixer mutes, where if you mute the audio, it'll cut off any reverb or delay tails, which again for me, breaks my workflow considerably. So side note for me, I haven't really been using the MPC3 software this past month because I've had a ton of projects that I've had to finish, and they're all on MPC2. And if I were to switch it to the MPC3 beta, I'd be nervous and also it would break my workflow. So I haven't been able to use it that much this month. But yeah, with this update, you now have the track mute state per sequence. I'm assuming that in this interface is where they'll put the ability to change mutes to event muting as opposed to audio muting. Additionally, stem separation now has a minor algorithm improvement for better audio quality and stem separation. It does slightly increase the render time for separating though. So if you are using the stem separation tools in the standalone hardware for the MPC3 beta, it should be slightly better. So that's kind of the broad major change update type of stuff. Let's talk about the new feature, slice to audio. So I'm going to load up a sample. I've been working on a new sample pack called Breaks and Bass, I think is what I'm officially going to call it. So I just grabbed some stuff out of there that I'm going to load up here. It's basically drum breaks and bass that goes with it. I'm going to grab this dirty sounding break. I'm going to grab this bass. So if we go to sample edit, you'll see my first break that I made here. Yeah, super dirty, grimy, all that stuff. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to go over to the chop. We're going to put 0 snap on, and then we're going to do threshold. Now these are all 16 bars when I made them, and we're going to adjust this threshold to try to get a fair amount of detail out of this. In hindsight, I should probably crop this down to smaller measures. Again, it's 16 measures, so 8 measures would probably be better because it's because you can see it's maxing out of the 128 sample slices. So maybe not the best example for this, but we're gonna roll with it regardless. So we hold shift, we go to convert. So on the convert to, you can click on this, you can see all the options right here. The new one is audio track from samples. So if you click on that, you'll see create track and then warp enabled. So the idea behind this is that you don't need warp enabled because it will preserve the timing of where this stuff is placed, and it will just shorten or extend the block that's placed in the audio track. Sounds a little confusing, so let's see it in practice. Now, the bars is very important. I know it's 16 bars, so I'm going to place it at 16 bars, but if you don't place it in the correct bars, then the timing is going to be completely off. So you got to be very aware of that right there. I'm going to hit do it. And one thing you'll notice, it's officially sliced all of these slices 128 of them actually, into various samples right there. Now looking at this, we have our audio track with all of the slices up to 16 bars. Now I am going to reduce this to say 4 bars, like so. So now you can really see all that. Now the sequence loaded up as 120. I'm going to reduce this down to 112. That's the official BPM of the sample. If I go over to the arrangement, you can see that the samples should be updating. Maybe not. Maybe it's not updating in real time. I thought it was. Yeah, weird. So it updates when I switch the page. Anyways, it's beta software, right? So back to 112 BPM. Now if I play this. Now loops. So let's start slowing it down. Oh, now it's updating. So when it's playing, it currently updates. Weird. Anyways. So now you can hear the weirdness that's happening right there. If I just do a little bit slower though. You can now slow or speed up a break in the audio domain and preserve the integrity relatively well without using warp, which sometimes warp sounds glitchy. If I speed this up, let's say 120. Going faster actually sounds really good. Let's go check out this bass real fast. So, same thing, it's in 16 bars. So we are going to go to threshold. Again, it maxes out all those chops right there. Before we do this, I'm gonna go to regions. I'm gonna say 16 regions, and then I'm just gonna chop out this first region right here. So here's how we do this. I'm gonna select these slices, delete the slice. So slice 1 is basically 4 bars. I'm going to extract that real quick. Let's go process, extract, do it. Great. So we know 4 bars right here. We're going to go threshold, chop, yes. Maybe higher a little bit. There's this bug that happens. If something freaks out on the threshold, see, I can't go to that and redo it. Beta software. Anyways, this should work. Let's go process, convert. Audio track from samples. This is 4 bars. We're going to create a new track. Say do it. Interestingly, takes a little moment right there, if you notice. So what I've seen so far with this software is it can be like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. And then it catches up. And you're like, oh, okay. Because there's no thing that popped up that said it's processing or converting. Just a little FYI right there. So I'm going to turn this down to 4 bars and let's solo this. So those weren't chopped, so they're out of time, that little part, but it actually sounds pretty cool. Let's go 112. Let's hear the drums. Speed it up. Yeah. So definitely interesting tool. I don't know if I would necessarily use that over the other slicing option though, which if you are unaware, I'll show you real quick. I gotta find my originals here. Let's go back to the break. So the drum break, what I could do is just go shift, convert, and instead of audio track from samples, new drum track using slices, which wouldn't overpopulate your sample pool with a ton of slices like it does right now if you're chopping a long sample. So new drum track using slices. Let's create the events. And I know that it is 16 bars, so we'll go like that. Do it. Now, if we listen to this. Now it's a drum group referencing the slices from that audio sample, which allows you to do some interesting things. Like for instance, we can change this to poly, and now the samples should overlap each other. Slow this down. So it was originally 112. BPM sync is on as well. Also, I forgot. I need to change this to 4 bars or 8 bars or whatever. Go 8 bars. Go back to 112. Okay, so what I like to be able to do with this, I can control the envelope of everything here. So if I go edit, I'm still in editing all mode, as you can see. If I go envelopes, then go like that. I can increase the decay. And then you can do stuff like this. Go over to the random side, make the pitch a little random, and also increase the attack randomness. Same thing with decay. Then we go over to the filters. Let's turn this over to Model 3. Speed it up. We need a clipper on here. Soft clipper. So, what do you think of the new feature? Also, how are you feeling about the MPC3 beta? Definitely curious after people have had more time with it. Again, it's not a finished product yet. So for me, I'm not using it day to day because I do have things where the workflow is just completely broken if I were to switch over to MPC3. And I can't do that from a professional perspective. But I am very excited about seeing an official release, a 1.0 release for the MPC3 software, because the way it treats audio tracks is definitely better than MPC2 software right now. Let me know in the comments what you think. If you enjoyed this video, a like and subscribe goes a long way. Also, if you're planning on picking up any studio gear, my affiliate links below directly support the channel. So thank you very much for that. And also, if you're curious about the sample pack, I will be releasing it sometime within a month or so. Again, it's going to be breaks and bass, very dirty, very analog distorted type of stuff. Keep an eye out for that. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time for another one. Peace.